everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video, we are going to understand how to automate webinar follow-up emails using SendGrid. So I'm an owner of a business consultation firm and I arrange webinars for my clients on daily basis. Now whenever the webinar is going to be ended, I want to send follow-up emails towards all my clients. And doing that manually is a very time-consuming and hectic process. So to solve this problem, I have built a connection between Google Ad and SendGrid using Pabbly Connect, that too without need of any coding and programming skills. Yes, I manage all my events in my Google Calendar. Now whenever in the Google Calendar an event is going to be ended, that means a webinar is going to be ended, automatically towards all the clients who have attended the event, they will receive the follow-up emails using SendGrid. One email is going to be forwarded to them a day after the event is ended. The second follow-up email is going to be forwarded towards all the clients after the 7 days of the webinar being ended. So now if you want to learn this entire process step by step, for that I have to take you towards my screen. In this video, we're going to learn how to automate webinar follow-up emails using SendGrid. So as an owner of a business consultation firm, I frequently host webinars to connect with my potential clients and share valuable insights. I use Google Calendars to organize and manage all my webinar sessions. And I use SendGrid to send professional follow-up emails. With this automation, as soon as a webinar ends in my Google Calendar, a feedback email is automatically sent through SendGrid asking the attendees about their experience and what topics they like covered next. Then the second email is shortly followed up after that, featuring a special offer like free 30 minutes consultation or discounted packages and offer codes. This helps me to build a stronger client relationship and increase conversions without spending time on manual follow-ups. And I'm going to create this amazing connection between Google Calendar and SendGrid using Pabbly Connect. For that, on a new tab, I'm going to browse the website of Pabbly Connect, that is www.pabbly.com/connect. After browsing the website, Pabbly Connect's landing page is going to appear in front of you. Now, do you want to stay ahead with the latest update and features of Pabbly? Then you should join our official Pabbly community, a space built for users like you. Get real-time updates, access helpful resources, and learn directly from our team. Connect with fellow users to share ideas and ask questions and find solutions. Whether you're a beginner or expert, there's something valuable for everyone in this community. Discover smart tips, automation tricks, and community-driven insights. Let's grow and automate together inside Pabbly community and join it today. Let's get back to our workflow that we are creating. Then Pabbly Connect's landing page is going to appear in front of you. On the landing page, you have two options, that is sign in or sign up for free. If you're an existing user, you can directly sign into your Pabbly Connect account. That means you already have an account with Pabbly. But if you're a new user, you can sign up for free and get 100 free tasks every month. So as I'm already an existing user, so I'm going to directly sign into my Pabbly Connect account. After signing in, you can see the all Pabbly apps window in front of you, in which you can see all the applications that Pabbly provides, from which we are going to use Pabbly Connect. For that, click on this Access Now button right over here. Then Pabbly Connect's dashboard is going to appear in front of you. And now to create a new automation in our Pabbly Connect account, we have to create a workflow. For that, click on this top right corner button right here that says Create Workflow. Firstly, it is asking for the workflow name. So for the name of my workflow, I'm going to give it as Automate Webinar Follow-up Emails using SendGrid. Okay. So this is the name of my workflow. And for the folder, these are the folders from which I'm going to select the workflows folder. And then I'm going to click on this create button right over here. So now you can see right over here, a new workflow has been created and you can see that there are two windows in front of you. One is the trigger window, other is the action window. So what is trigger and action? Trigger and action are the two most important steps of our automation process because our process depends on these two principles. Over here, trigger says when this happens and action says do this. That means what is action? Action is a response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step but multiple action steps. We need to set up our trigger step first, in which my trigger application I'm going to select over here as Google Calendar. I want that as soon as an event is going to be ended in my Google Calendar account, I want the trigger over here should capture the response of the ended event, okay? And the trigger event over here is going to be event ended, okay? And then over here, I'm going to click on this connect button. A window is going to appear in front of you, on which click on this add new connection button and then click on this sign in with Google button right over here. Then it is asking for us to choose an account that we want to connect to Pabbly Connect. So this is the account. I'm going to select it. And then it is asking for the permission for this account, for which I'm going to click on this allow button, as this is a safe process and my data is perfectly safe with Pabbly Connect. So I'm going to click on this allow button right here. And as I've done that, you can see Google Calendar is successfully authorized with Pabbly Connect. Firstly, it is asking for me to select the calendar. In which calendar I am adding my webinar event details. I am using the calendar in the name of consultation schedules. Over here, I schedule all the webinars with my clients, okay? In this calendar, I'm adding all the events. So for the calendar, I'm going to select over here as business consultation schedule, okay? And then it says save and send test request. As soon as I'm going to click on this button, the last event that was ended in my Google Calendar is going to be captured in this response right here. The last event that was ended in my Google Calendar was today. It was from 10:30 to 12 p.m. Okay? And you can see this was the last right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this save and send test request button and then I'm going to check whether the response of this event has been captured in my trigger right here or not. So as I'm going to click on this button, over here you can see the response has been captured for client session best user operation optimization. Okay. So if I'm going to open, you can see this was the last session, that was client session best user operation optimization. As this was the last event that was ended in my Google Calendar, now it has been captured over here in the response. Okay, if I'm going to further scroll down, you can see right over here, this is the ID. The location was an online meeting. If I'm going to further scroll down, you can find the created time is right over here. If I'm going to further scroll down from here, person who attended was right over here. If I'm going to further go up, this was the end date and time when was the event ended. Okay. So as now the response over here has been captured in my trigger, this means that Google Calendar is connected to Pabbly Connect and our trigger setup is now been done. After setting up our trigger step, we need to set up our action step. Now as the event is ended, I want to send a follow-up email after a day. Okay, so let's suppose as today by 12 p.m. the event was ended. So tomorrow, that is 8th of July 2025, by 12 p.m. I want to send an email to my client asking for the feedback for the event. Okay. For that, in this workflow that we are creating, we have to add a delay time. Yes, we have to add a delay time in which we are going to first add the date. I want to send an email after a day. So firstly, we have to add 1 day to the end of the event. After that, we have to add a delay of a day in this workflow right here. Okay. And let's do that from here. Firstly, we have to add 1 day to the end date and time that we have received in this trigger response. For that, we're going to set up our action step, in which from action application over here, I'm going to select it as date time formatter by Pabbly. Using this amazing feature by Pabbly, we are going to update the date according to our requirements. And for the action event, I'm going to select it as add subtract time. And then I'm going to click on this connect button. It is asking for us to enter the date that we have to format. Okay. Now for the data of this field, we are going to map the data. Mapping means inserting data from the previous step. So I'm going to insert the data from the previous step of this workflow. How it works is that as soon as I'm going to click on this field, the previous step is going to appear in front of you. As I'm going to click on it, the response that is captured in our previous step is going to appear in front of you. In the response, I'm going to search for this end date and time. According to the event end date and time, we are going to send the emails, the follow-up emails to our clients. Okay. Now over here, the date and time end one is right here. This is the end date and time. Now over here in this date and time, we are going to add how many days? 1 day, as I want to send my first email after a day of the event right here. Okay. So for the date of this enter date field, I'm going to select the data from my previous response. As now I've selected the data from my previous response, this data has now been mapped. And as I've mapped this data, the data has now become dynamic. That means now whenever a new response is going to be captured in our previous step, automatically the new data is going to be updated in place of this mapped data. Now it is asking for the expression. How many days do we want to add or subtract? I want to add 1 day over here. So I'm going to write over here plus 1 day. Okay. So this is the expression. Okay. You have to write it in this format only as it says in the help desk right here. Okay. Now it is asking for the to format. To which format do I want to convert? I want this same format only, that is a UTC time zone format. So for the to format, I'm going to select the same UTC time zone format, and the from is also from UTC time zone format. So I'm going to select it. You can see this format is the same format right here. And then simply I'm going to click on this save and send test request button. Now you can see over here the event date was 07/07/2025. Now it is 08/07/2025. You can see a day is been added right here. And the time is in a UTC time zone format. Okay. So now after adding a day over here, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a delay in this workflow for a day. For that, select your action application as delay by Pabbly, using which we can add delays in our workflow that we are creating. Action event is going to be add delay time. Then I'm going to click on this connect button. How much delay you want to put in the workflow? We are going to select over here as delay until as our option, until the date that we want. I want to add a specific date. Okay. And for the delay date, we have to enter the delay date in this specific format right over here. That is year, month, date, hour, minutes and seconds. And we have to have it in a UTC format. Okay. So now we have to add an action step before this step right over here, in which from action application, I'm going to again select it as date time formatter by Pabbly. Action event over here is going to be format date with time zone. And then I'm going to click on this connect button. For the date, I'm going to map the data of this date that was generated right here. For the from format, I'm going to select the same UTC time zone format right here. But for the to, I'm going to select it as the date time that was asked in our delay step. Okay, so this is the format. I'm going to select it. For the from time zone, we have received the data in a UTC time zone. So I'm going to select it. And to will also be UTC time zone. So I'm going to select it over here. After filling in all the required details, I'm going to click on this save and send test request button. I have received the date and time. You can see right over here. This is the date, that is 8th of July 2025. This is a date that is 1 day after the event. Okay. And the time as well. So now as we have the date and the time, I'm going to map the date of this formatted date and the time right here. And as I've done that, I'm going to click on this save and send test request button, and a delay is successfully added in this workflow. Now this workflow after the step of event ended is going to be executed after 1 day of the event being ended. Okay. So as a day passed by, I want to send my first follow-up email. And the first follow-up email is going to be regarding collecting the feedback of the event from my clients. For that, I'm going to set up my action step, in which from action application, I'm going to select over here as SendGrid, using which I'm sending emails to my clients. An action event over here is going to be send an email. And then I'm going to click on this connect button. A window is going to appear in front of you, on which click on add new connection. Then it is asking for the token, using which we are going to build a connection between SendGrid and Pabbly Connect. To have the token, log into your SendGrid account. From the panel, go to settings. After that, go to API keys section right here. Then the API keys page of our SendGrid account is going to appear in front of you. And now to generate a new key, click on this create API key button right here. Firstly, we have to name the key. For the name of the key, I'm going to give it as new key. Access is going to be full access. Then I'm going to create the key from here. Copy this key from here and paste it in this token field and click on this save button. This is how you build the connection between SendGrid and Pabbly Connect. After connecting, firstly it is asking for us to send to email address right here. To which person are we sending the email to? In my Google Calendar, in this event that is ended right over here, there were 3 attendees in the webinar. And towards all the 3 guests, I want to send the emails to. Now for that over here, if I'm going to take you back to this step right over here and towards the response that was captured, I have received 3 of the emails right over here of my attendees. Okay, and towards all the 3, I want to send the email. But as you can see, all the attendees' emails are separated from each other. I do not want that. So simply, instead of having the simple response, I'm going to get an advanced response. For that, I'm going to toggle this button off and again click on this Save and Send Test Request button right over here. And you can see right here, we have received an advanced response in which I have received all the email address clubbed together right here. So I cannot send emails like this towards my attendees. So now what I'm going to do is, after this step right here, I'm going to add an action step over here to dissolve the array that we have received. And from action application, I'm going to select over here as data transformer by Pabbly. Action event is going to be line itemizer, and then I'm going to click on this connect button. For the items that I'm going to remove the array from, I'm going to map the data of this email right here. So I'm going to search for the email and map the data right here, and simply click on this Save and Send Test Request button. And you can see right over here, I've received all the emails of my clients right here, and towards the emails, we are going to send the follow-up emails from here. Okay, so now over here I'm going to map the data of the emails from my previous response. Okay, now after that, it is asking for the subject of my email. So for the subject over here, I'm going to write it as "We love your feedback on the webinar." This is the subject that I have. For the from email address, we have to enter the qualified sender email address. For that, log into your SendGrid account. Go to the marketing section, go to the senders section right over here. After coming to senders, you will find the email address of your official senders. So this is the email address. I'm going to copy it from here and paste in this from field right here. Okay. After that, it is asking for the from name. So for the from name over here, I'm going to write it as Team Smart Consult Pro dot. Okay, this is the name of my business. So I've written the from name as this right here. For the reply to email address, I'm going to map the data of these email address right over here. Okay. After that, over here it is asking for the content type. I'm going to write the HTML format of the body. So I'm going to select the content type as HTML. You can also use plain text according to our requirement. Over here it is asking for the content value. Over here we have to enter the email address body. So for the content value, I'm going to write it as... So this is the body you can see right over here. In the body, it is asking for the feedback form link. Okay. Over here, this is my feedback form that I've created. So I'm going to copy this link from here and paste it in this place right here. Okay. So this is the body. The content type is HTML. This is the reply to email with all the other details. Now I'm going to click on this Save and Send Test Request button right here. After that, I have received a response, which is a positive response. So if I'm going to open my Gmail account, so an email like this is going to be forwarded towards all our clients. Thank you for attending. Hi there, I am demo user from Smart Consult Pro. It's a pleasure having you in our recent webinar. We love to hear your thoughts. Could you share a moment? Could you spare a moment to share your feedback? Okay. And if I'm going to click on this button right over here, automatically the feedback form is going to be opened in front of you. Okay. So this is how this amazing email is going to look like in your Gmail account to your clients that you're forwarding. So after sending this first follow-up email, now what I want is, I want to send another email towards my client who has attended the webinar after 7 days of the event being ended. I want to send them a promotional code, a discount code that they can use the next time they will attend the webinar. For that, I'm going to add an action step in this workflow again, and we're going to follow all these steps again. Add subtract time, date time formatter, and the delay. Okay. So first of all, we're going to add and subtract the time right here. For that, I'm going to again select my action application, date time formatter by Pabbly. Action event over here is going to be add subtract time, and then I'm going to click on this connect button. For the enter date, I'm going to enter the end date and time right here. So this is the end date and time. I want to add plus 7 days right over here. Okay. I will send another email after 7 days of the event being ended. For the to format, I'm going to select the UTC time zone format. From is going to be again UTC time zone format. And then I'm going to click on this Save and Send Test Request button. You can see this is after 7 days. That is going to be the 14th of July 2025. The event was ended on 7th of July. So after we have added the 7 days, now we have to change the date and time format with the help of Datetime Formatter by Pabbly. Action event is going to be format date with time zone. Then I'm going to click on this connect button. For the date, I'm going to map this formatted date. From format is UTC to format is going to be this format that delay will be asking. For the time zone, again, I'm going to select over here as UTC and 2 will be UTC as well because in delay, we have to add a UTC time zone. And then I'm going to click on the save and send test request button. This is the 7 days added to the end of the event. Okay, then I'm going to add an action step, which is going to be the delay that we are adding right here. Okay. Action event is going to be add delay time. Then I'm going to click on this connect button. How much delay do we want to put is going to be delay until. And for the date, I'm going to map the data of this formatted date right here. And then I'm going to click on this save and send test request button. You can see the delay has been successfully added right here. As now the delay time has been added, I'm going to add an action step over here. Now we're going to send an email using SendGrid. So over here, I'm going to search for SendGrid right here. Action event over here is going to be send an email. Okay, and then I'm going to click on this connect button. This window is going to appear on which I'm going to select the existing connection. But if you want, you can add a new connection. Okay, then it is asking for the send to email address, for which I'm going to map the data of all these email address right here. For the subject, now the subject over here of this email is going to be, this is the subject that I have your exclusive post webinar offer inside. From the from email address, I'm going to again enter the sender's email address right over here. This is my sender's email address. I'm going to open it. So this is my sender's email address. I'm going to again copy and paste it right here. For the from name over here, I'm going to again write it as Team Smart Consult Pro dot over here. For the reply to email, I'm going to enter my other email address that I have right here. That is testaccount@pabblytudes.com. Okay. After that, it is asking for the content type, which is going to be again HTML. And now for the content value, I'm going to enter the value that is the email body in HTML format. So this is the email address that I've written right over here. After entering the details, I'm going to simply click on this save and send test request button right here. As I've done that, I have received a response that is a positive response. If I'm going to open my Gmail account again, this is the email that the client is going to receive after the 7 days of the event being ended. Special offer just for you. Hi again, this is demo user from Smart Consult Pro. Thanks for joining our recent webinar. As a token of appreciation, here's an exclusive 20% off on our consultation services. And this is the code that is SMART20. Okay. And over here, I've added the button using which the customer can directly go on my website. Okay. So now these are the type of emails that is going to be forwarded towards my clients as the follow-up emails after attending the webinar. Okay. So as the emails are been successfully forwarded, this means that this amazing automation has now been successfully created using Pabbly Connect. So now to sum till now what we have done, as soon as an event is going to be ended in my Google Calendar, automatically the trigger is going to capture the response of that, and towards the client who have attended the webinar are going to receive follow-up emails. One email is going to be forwarded after a day of the event being attended, and another email is going to be forwarded after 7 days of the event being ended. Okay, and in this manner I have created this amazing automation for sending webinar follow-up emails using SendGrid and Pabbly Connect. So this was it for this video. Thank you so much for watching.
Not just with these applications, you can create automation between multiple applications using Pabbly Connect. If you have any doubts, you can send us email on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can ask us queries on forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can check out this link. If you like this video, please do subscribe to our channel and hit the like button down there.